Welcome back, friends. This is Solomon Jagwe. I'm back with another quick insight and tutorial. So we're going to be picking up from a couple of tutorials where we stopped off. Where we left off. So this tutorial, when I did this one, I was showing you how to animate MetaHumans, the face of the MetaHumans using iClone, right? And then I followed that tutorial up with another one. This one where you get to animate the full body of the MetaHuman using iClone. Okay, so today we come full circle, and I want to talk to you about animating both the face and the body together. And I think the best way to show this is to share with you this short film that I've just completed. And it takes advantage of the MetaHumans, the awesome MetaHumans, and also iClone to do the facial animation. So there are two things that I was able to do. So one thing that I wanted to achieve first was to be able to animate the kids in this scene. And if you haven't watched this short film, do please take a minute to go and watch it on my YouTube channel right here. And if you're new to my channel, I kindly ask that you spare a minute to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're alerted when I post a new video. And thank you so much to all my patrons out there that are supporting me. I truly appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel, you can also buy some merch, some cool merch. Yeah. But the whole purpose of this tutorial is to bring together these two tutorials, this one, the face, and the body, right? And I was able to achieve that in this short film right here. So you can see the grandfather character playing, okay, and the hands are animated and the face is animated, the characters' faces are animated. I mean, the kids' faces are also animated. So I was able to pull this off, guys, using iClone, the Unreal Engine. I also use the Perception Neuron Studio Suit, and all of those things were rendered inside of the Unreal Engine, and I'm rendering on a machine made available to me by the awesome team at Projet Systems, and so for that I am super grateful. And this video, again, as a disclaimer, is made possible by Reallusion. All right, so let's get started. And as you can see, I mean, the awesome thing about MetaHumans is that they are really beautiful characters. You don't have to model, you don't have to texture. The faces are already pre-rigged, so it really is just a matter of how can you make them come to life using facial animation and full body animation mocap. And by the way, guys, I heard a lot about the big fire, so I was able to actually fix that. Just so you know, I was able to fix that. So thank you so much for the feedback. And I think this is an awesome journey because we are all learning. You know, I'm fairly new to the Unreal Engine, but the fact that I'm able to pull this off, guys, I think is a testament to what these tools can do, especially iClone for the facial animation. And the reason why I'm using iClone is because you're able to edit the facial animation in real time and also edit the mocap. Like, for example, this came from the Perception Neuron motion capture suit, and all of that in real time, so that you know, like when the fingers are spreading on the MetaHuman and they're not looking correct, you can still see that edited in iClone. All right, and so just a quick recap again. Make sure whatever you do before you start this whole process, make sure you have the MetaHuman, this link right here on the Reallusion website. Just click on that. It's going to take you to this page that has all the tools that you need, and click on Get Tools. And the two tutorials that I've done, they're actually featured over here. So these two walk you through how to set up the blueprint and everything. And so today we're just going to be putting everything together so that you can pull off that an animation similar to what I've done here. Okay, so first, here's a scene that I have set up already. And in here, I have the grandfather as a MetaHuman. And if I click on him, you can see the key things right here is that you can drive the face, it has a face subject, and you can drive the body. And then the head can also be driven by the motion capture data coming in from iClone using the Unreal Live link. Those are the key things. Now, let me go to my content over here. Content folder where the MetaHumans are, and let's bring in a fresh MetaHuman. So assuming that you have your MetaHuman, you've made him using the MetaHuman creator, the online version of it, and you're ready to animate him in the Unreal Engine. And the cool thing, again, the whole reason that we're here is because we want to be able to render in real time. So this is real-time lighting, guys. This is real-time lighting, the shadows and all that. I think this is what the Unreal Engine offers, is that you're able to do these things in real time. And that's why it's so exciting. Okay, so we're gonna bring in our character here. So in this video, the grandfather is telling the story to these two little kids, right? But now maybe there's another cousin who comes along and they say, I want to hear the same story too. And the character is also MetaHuman. So we bring in the character and put her here. It could be a male character, it could be a female character. So it's up to you, depending on who you've created. So she also wants to hear a story, but she wants to be able to say those words and also gesture and all that. So I have a chair here that I prepared for her to sit on. But you notice that when I select her over here, she has you can link up the face and the head, but you can't link up the body just yet. So this is the cool thing, guys. When you put in all the effort, so those two tutorials that I'm telling you about, these ones right here, when you put in the effort, please, whatever you do, follow these tutorials and get to where I am at this point, because there's a lot of information that has to go in that you have to get to this point. But once you've done the first tutorial, this one, right, the face animation part of it, you will already be at this point because you'll be able to animate the faces. Now what's missing is being able to add the body. Now this character here, you can see that he already has the body subject linked to it. So I'm going to show you how to add this so that this character can also be animated like Kwamba here, the grandfather. So this is my actor called Kwamba, but he's playing the role of grandfather. So here's the new one. And so if I'll go to iClone, so other things that you have to have, by the way, after you've imported, these tools that are needed, to get this whole started, you have to make sure that you're using, close that, you make sure that you're using a CC3 plus character to be able to get like really good animation. Okay, and that is important because first of all, the way to even figure out if it's a CC3 character, even if it's written here, the way to find out is to go to the animation tab over here while the character is selected, go to face key, and under the face key over here, click on this tab right here. If it's not a CC3 plus character, you won't be able to see any of these. But now when I see all these, morphs, the 52 AR kit morphs, I know that this character will be able to do the expressions that we're looking for, the convincing facial animation. Same thing with this character. When I select her, so close this. So if you're doing with a female character, just do the same thing. Make sure you check to make sure it has the 52 blend shapes morphs. My lingua over there. Okay, so that's how you know the character is perfect. So this is going to be the character that drives the face of the character inside of the Unreal Engine. Now for the body part of it, in that file that you download from Reallusion, this kit, right, where it says redeem for iClone MetaHuman, inside of this kit you're going to be able to get these dummies. Okay, and these dummies are every single body size, at least as we speak now, of the MetaHuman body dimensions, right? And the way you match it up is you have to go to the character here and edit the blueprint, this one right here, and you can go to the body, scroll all the way down, and look at the female. This is the skeletal mesh. Look for the description here, the naming convention. So this is a female with medium with medium height and underweight. so it's underweight. Not, or if she were overweight, it would be OV weight. And if it's normal, weight, it will be in arm weight. So that's how you know the different sizes. And if you go to iClone over here, you can see this different names. So the one that we need really is this one, okay, because that's the character we're going to be driving inside of the Unreal Engine. All right, so since it's a female, I'm not going to be using him. That will be like for the grandfather's part. So let's delete him, and we're going to be using this one right here, right? And maybe let me put her back to where she was in terms of, let's put back to 0. Okay, so this is going to be our actress, and the facial animation is going to be coming from her face. Okay, now next to her, we're going to bring in this character here because this one matches the character inside of the Unreal Engine over here. So this is the one that is going to be listening to the story. She's like I showed you, her body type is, she's a female. She has she's of medium height, and the weight is underweight. So that's what we need over here, right? So we'll move this over to the side over here. So this body is going to be driving the body of the MetaHuman, and this is going to be driving the face of the MetaHuman. Okay, so that is very important. That MetaHuman kit from Reallusion is key. Make sure you pick it up. And so the reason I'm using these characters, I think the previous tutorial you saw that I was using where is the characters? We'll go to template, avatar, I think it was project over here under template. So when I did that first tutorial, we used this X Plus facial character, Deborah, but I'm just showing you that there's another way. So if you don't want your male character to be driven by Deborah, then that's where you use these CC3 plus characters. But if you want, you can also use Deborah, you know, for both if it doesn't bother you. But if it bothers you, then I suggest that you switch out the male to the female characters and the character tab over, and it's going to be in the avatar and these characters right here. So I encourage you to make sure that your iClone is updated so that you can be able to use that. All right, and we're going to do a quick test over here to make sure the facial animation is actually working. So we'll bring up Motion Live. All right, and we're going to make sure the IP address is correct. Click on Live Face, and we're going to go to Catherine over here. We're going to change her face to Receive Live Face. We're going to press Preview and press the spacebar. All right. So that's how you know the character is working. So that's how you'll be able to add facial animation to the character. Okay. Now, this is supposed to be actually match the smoothness of the animation is better. Because right now I'm recording and it's a bunch of things going on. But when I'm not recording, it works perfectly, just like you saw in the video. So, and I also encourage you to be in a quick mode. Right now, you can see the frame rate. You don't want to be recording at that rate, you know, because the animation won't be very smooth. You want to make sure it's at least 60 frames per second. And if I were to stop recording right now, you would see this go back to 60 frames, and the mouth will be moving properly. Okay. So, but I'm just showing you this so you know where the animation is going to be coming from, and that this character can actually drive. And it's going to be able to get really good facial animation from it. So let's press spacebar to cancel for now. And also, so in terms of the body animation, I'm gonna be using this character right here, and this is mocap data that I was able to record using the Perception Neuron Studio Suit. And if we play it back, I'm going to keep playing it back over here, add loop on there, and then over on this side, if we enable the body to use perception neuron, and also this character here, the one that's going to drive the body of the MetaHuman, we do the same thing. So ideally, you want to record the mocap first and then stream it to to the Unreal Engine. But right now, let me just show you that it's actually working. So right now, if you press preview, spacebar, hold on, make sure this is selected, this is selected, press preview, press spacebar. Is it playing over here? Oh, hold on a second. I have to make sure that I've actually enabled spacebar. Sorry about that, guys. So make sure you click here on Perception Neuron to enable it. Then press preview and spacebar. And then over in Access Studio, make sure you press play. And it's going to be working. So that is a cool thing about Motion Live and about iClone, is that you can combine all these things. So right now, I am talking while the mockup is playing in the background. So just bear with me. Like I said, it's preferable to record the mockup first, and then you do the editing, and then you stream it to the Unreal Engine. Okay, so this is the whole process that I used to be able to create this short film that you saw over here. And if you haven't watched it, do please spare a minute to go watch it and click like, add a positive comment. I take positive comments and positive criticism as well. But I'm on a journey to get better. So thank you so much for the feedback, guys. And I hope that you are also willing to, I'm always willing to listen to feedback, as long as it's guiding me in the right direction and not pulling me back or bringing me down, tearing me down. Because sometimes people do that. I don't know. I'm not like that. I always try to build people up more than anything. But anyway, so that is the mocap data. And actually what we can do is, so to make it move faster, is you record on one character, save the mocap, and then apply the mocap on the two characters so it matches. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to select her. Okay. I'm going to deselect mocap on this character and make sure it's not using, there's no mocap going through to this character, this one, the dummy. And actually, let's turn it off for now. And we're going to work with her. So let's go ahead and record a quick clip. Well, she's going to be listening to the story, but she looks like she's talking. But if I was doing this, I'd do like a custom like animation where she's actually sitting and listening actively. Listen to the grandfather. But we'll just use this as an example. So this is playing over here. So I can go to iClone and I'm going to actually record. And excuse me, I'm going to record the face and the body at the same time. So we have the same information there. Record, press spacebar. Grandfather, can you please tell me a story? I was not here when you were telling the story to the other peoples. I want a story too. Please, please, please. Okay. She's not supposed to laugh in the middle of a take, but I laughed. But anyway, let's let's go ahead and stop. Okay. So, and this is where the animation stopped. So we can actually now close this because we won't need that unless if you're doing it live. Okay. And we're gonna bring up the timeline. I want to make this as the end point. And you can always drag a timer and like before she gets up, like right here where she's laughing, but where I laughed. So you can do that as a, oh, no. That's not the end point. That's the end point. And we'll find like maybe right here will be the end point. And so that's the beauty of the mocap too, because now I can use rich effectors to even bind the hands to the thighs, so that when she's about to lift up, the hands are locked to the thigh, and then she lifts up. So it's a whole other aspect of iClone that you can use, all the animation tools, but that's really, really cool that you can actually refine the mocap. Now, if we are able to, if we go in here, minimize the timeline and let's play back. By the way, it's important to minimize the timeline because there's a difference. It adds to the frame rate. So if we play back and then if we lower it, so you see how the frame rate's picked up. So make sure the timeline is minimized. So this is our mockup. And as you can see, we have both body and the facial animation, which is pretty cool. So now let's go to content over here, go to the animation tab, go to custom, and then we're going to look for MotionPlus over here. Because we want the standing dummy character, these the dummies that we're talking about and the one that we're using, we want that to have the same exact mockup as this character so that they match up. So what you do, go to the animation tab over here. I'm gonna put them in my custom folder. I try to stay organized. So 2021, and we'll call this short film. I'm just gonna put it in here, right here. So click on the character, and you can also frame the character at the point where you want, to be reminded of what the mockup looks like. She looks really, really happy. I want her happy. That's right. So let's click plus here, and we're gonna call this listening. Okay. And you can always do a new thumbnail if you want, like, really, is that the story? And then capture thumbnail. And that way you always know which mockup to use. So now that we have our mockup, I'll be able to use it on the other character right here. So go to her, bring her back. And even though she won't have the facial animation, she's going to have the animation for the body to be exact animation as this. So let's go to this one right here and double click on it. So if we play back, so it's the same exact animation with the matching with the facial animation. So that facial animation on the MetaHuman is going to be matching perfectly with that. So what we just did, we used Motion Live, right? Motion Live. We used the Perception Neuron Suit, the Axis Suit. So you could, if you have another motion capture suit, use that, to be able to record the mockup. And that's the cool thing about iClone, is that you can have different mockup suits that are supported. So for example, if you go to Motion Live over here, you can have multiple, different plugins that you can use, gears. I'm using Perception. If you have Exsense, you can use Exsense. If you have the hands, for example, Manus gloves, you could use that. So the Perception Neuron Studio Suit comes with both gloves and the full body. So that's why I love using it over here. All right. So we have, so as you can tell, some of the mockup still needs to be edited. So what is really cool is that, for example, this right here, and I'm going into detail with this because it's important that you do the work first. Make sure you edit the mockup here, preferably before you get there. But it also is important as you're editing the mockup to see it over on that side so that you can see. So for example, if I wanted to edit the fingers, I click on the edit motion layer. And for example, for this, the left hand right here, I can go to this finger right here and I can bring it in like that. Same thing. So make sure you're always on the first keyframe. Bring those fingers in like that, So when I play back, that mockup is going to be cleaned up with just a simple cleaning up like that. So this part where it's protruding, we can use the rich effectors. And there are some new tools that are coming in iClone 8. Oh my gosh. That I wish I had like right now, that are going to make this so much easier. So iClone 8, I can't wait for it to come. But anyway, this is just a quick tip on how to edit mockup. And you'll find that once you do that, the fingers are going to look great inside of the Unreal Engine. All right. So we have our mockup ready. We have the facial animation ready. And also for the facial animation, if you wanted to edit it a little bit more, you can go ahead and refine it. Like you see how it has facial strength over here, right? So you can adjust the facial animation strength like that. So if I wanted it to be less, you can see that, but that's not very convincing. So it's just I'm doing extremes so that you see what it. Okay, and when you can also do face puppet, right? it's like a lot of tools in here, especially for the make sure you use X plus, because that's what the CC3 plus characters offer you. So those are cool things that you can do. Like for example, if you wanted to do the mouth or the lips, and you can isolate all of these things. It's like a really robust way of editing this motion, the mocap data that comes in. And you can use Aculips to improve on the lip. So you could literally just remove all the lip movement and just use Aculips for that, and put in like a text file in here, because that's what I also did. I combined facial animation plus Aculips to be able to do that. So guys, that is just a quick behind. So now that you have the facial animation and you have the full body animation on the MetaHuman dummy over here, you really are ready to go. Okay, so remember that when you before you head over to the Unreal Engine, remember these names, because those are the names that are going to be driving. So for the face, make sure you pick the correct face, and you can even rename this. So for example, I can say let's call it facial drive, and we can change this to, I'm going to put it at the end, body drive, because I want to remember this. This is important over here. And always save, because if you did crash, you don't want this work to be, lost. All right, now we'll go to the Unreal Engine over here. So first, let's test. And now I'm assuming that you picked up from the tutorial that I mentioned, the body, the facial animation tutorial. Now we're going to test and see if this actually works. And the way you do that is, first you make sure when you go to settings and plugins that you have the live link, okay, enabled. And then under your plugins, make sure you have the iClone live link also enabled. That is going to be very important. Okay, so we can close that and go back to iClone. We're going to enable Unreal Live Link, this plugin over here. Okay, now we don't need everything. We just need these two, really. We don't need the prop, we don't need a camera, we don't need the lights, none of that. We just need these two characters. Okay, and we don't even need to click transfer. We just need a link to activate the link, and make sure that all these, if there's anything here, make sure it's not enabled, because we don't want any of this information sent over either. We just need the facial driver, which is this character here, and the body driver, which is this character over here. Okay, and go ahead and click activate link over there. So when we go back to the Unreal Engine, remember this character we just brought in, our new story listener. Now if you go here, there's nothing yet, because the live link is not active over here. So we have to make sure that your live link is active and connected. So under the source, go to iClone live link, click OK, and there we go. So now it's active. And if I drop this down now, you can see the facial driver is ready. So if I click facial driver over here, and let's zoom in a little bit on her face, and preferably when you're recording, when you're about to record, always switch this to scalability settings low. But because we want to see it in its glory right now, let's go ahead and press play in iClone. Let's put this over here. Press play. Turn on loop so we can come back over here, and facial driver, link to face drive, and over here. So there are some things that are not added yet, but if I were to go to play over here and press play, you can see the character's face being driven. Can you please tell me the story? Guys, I love the Unreal Engine. It's so cool. So, I mean, look at that. And that's iClone making this possible, guys. So you can see the animation going on here. So we don't have the body yet, right? We have the facial animation going, but we have to add the body. And that is where we pick up from the other lesson. All right. So if you have done the body, right, for the other, in the other tutorial, this tutorial right here, let's see where it is. So this tutorial that I made here, those steps are going to help you here, because really all you need is to be able to, once that is enabled, then the body is going to come through. This is going to show up right here. So let's go ahead and actually do that and link up this new model. Let's go ahead and stop over here, and let's go over here, and we're going to edit the blueprint for her. And as you can see, we need that. So we have the face, right? And we need to be able to do both the body and the face, and make sure you're working on the right character. All right. So the root over here, select the body over here, and then switch this to blueprint. Okay. And we want to switch this to the blueprint that is the same body size and type as that character. So it's going to be the female, medium, underweight animation blueprint. That one. That's the one that we need. Then click on this little browse icon and double click on it. So here it is. Now, fortunately, because I already had a character that already, so this is, again, this shows you that once you've done this on one character, it can be done for another character. So this character has been, you can see the blueprint is set up already. So there are some things I don't even have to do, because in the MetaHumans folder, there's another short character that, well, not short, but the character that has the same body type. This one is using the same type. So when we go back, for this character, that's why it's important to know which body type that you're using. So let me make sure, just a quick check to make sure that this character is using the correct blueprint. So we edited and we went, so that's a short underweight blueprint, but we want to use medium. So if we were to use this, it would work, but we want to use the medium one, because that character has a medium. So it's going to be female, medium, underweight blueprint. Okay, so that's the one. Then go ahead and find it and double click on it. All right, so this one has nothing yet. And that is the part that we need to be at right now. All right, so go to the blueprint of this character, this one, female, medium, underweight, animation blueprint. Click on blueprint right here, and then double click on the animation graph over here. All right, so you can see if we compare this to this one, those are the two parts that we're missing. So the same process that we have here, a live link pause, is the same thing that we need to do here. So as you can see, there's something that we have to do. So if you've already done that tutorial, I suggest that you simply copy this and paste it here. And then simply connect this over here, and connect this over here, and then promote this to a variable. All right. So guys, this step is really important, okay? Because if you don't do it right, you won't be able to get that live link component over in the in the node editor. So make sure you save, compile, save. So we are pretty much ready to now go and edit the blueprint. Okay, so now that this is done, so if we go here and edit our blueprint again, now we go to the event graph. So we're going to add a live link component. Okay, so live link component over here, and then click on live, because this is going to make it possible for us to see the animation in real time. Okay, save and compile. All right, so again, I'm going to go back to the reference of not Josie. Let's go ahead and close this, and that, and that, and let's go to one of another MetaHuman, which is Moshana. Double click on her. All right, and so here are the things that we need. So simply, this is what I've done, is that once you have this in here, you're just trying to really duplicate it. You know, this is the quickest way. Just drag and drop this over here. Okay. And then just go to Moshana over here, the one that you've already worked on. Just copy and let's close this and paste. All right. So now this is the fastest way to get this done. All right. And for go back, so this is Josie and under Moshana. So one thing that I need again is this get an instance. All right. And we're gonna duplicate this face right here to create a body subject. And the reason I'm going through this real quick is because the other tutorial covers, I've already covered all this. Okay. And once you have this, now we need to bring the body of this character, this one right here, just drop it in here. Okay. And let's go back and reference this so you can see how it's connected and also how this part is connected. So we simply connect those the same way. Right. Now we need to add, right click. So we need to add a cast to. And find female, medium, underweight, this one. All right, let's plug this over here. Same thing over there. Just follow through. And I'm trying to show you how to quickly get this to work without having to worry about everything else. So the next step is to get this right here, live link set. So go back here, drag this out, and want to get and connect this. We're gonna get link body subject. And one last step, live link. And we're gonna connect the body and save and compile. All right, guys, so we've just completed the blueprint for the new character. And now if we minimize this, you can see she's still talking, but look what just happened. So the live link body has shown up, and I'm gonna go ahead and choose body driven. And guess what? There she is. And she's talking and doing that things. So here's a cool thing, that before you record this, this is what I recommend. Go back to iClone. Let's first disconnect the live link connection, Unreal Live Link. Oops. Let's deactivate. Let's go back here. I always add an empty actor to her. It's under the basic. Let's see, bring back the G so we can see where we put it. Okay, and that's gonna be Josie. Is that, where's her? Where I put the character? So BP Josie. So I'm gonna change this to all right, and then I'm gonna drag and drop Josie in here. So now I can move this actor wherever I want and rotate it even after I activate the live link. So in iClone, go back and activate the live link, and let me make sure axis is actually off because it's dragging us down. We are done with that. Okay, so now the chair is over here. I can go and move this. Let's turn off the grid a little bit. Just rewind and snap off as well. Okay, so she's gonna be sitting over there, listening to the grandpa, and the chair that she's sitting on is not sitting on the ground. All right, let's fix that. Let's scale the chair. First, let's move it down. Right there. And now we can scale it up. And move it over. Maybe move it forward a tiny bit. All right. So now it's her turn to listen to the story, and we can see it rendered in real time. The facial animation is going on. So guys, that's how I was able to create the characters inside of my animated short film to make them be driven by iClone, and you can see it over here in the background. The character is being driven by the Unreal Live Link connection. And of course, because I'm recording, it looks like it's stuttering a little bit, but it will be much smoother on your end when you're doing all this. So that is it, guys. That was the tutorial I wanted to share with you. That this tutorial combines the two steps that the earlier tutorials of the face and the body, and it shows you that you can drive the facial animation of the MetaHuman together with iClone, using iClone by using this MetaHuman Dummy over here, and then a CC3 plus character. You could use Deborah or you could use this character, but because I wanted her to have the feminine look and all that, I'm using her. And that one we got from the folder over here that has the custom characters. But you can see how nicely it's doing this, right? So thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to see what you guys create. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much, Reallusion. Thank you so much, Bourget Systems. Thank you so much, Daz 3D. Thank you so much, Noitom, Perception Neuron Studio, guys. Your team is awesome. Thank you so much for everybody that has given me feedback. And of course, Thank you all to the subscribers. As always, guys, dare to dream big. Please never give up on your dream. We have these tools before us. Let's use them to tell our stories. And guys, before I go, when you're ready to record this, let's first turn off the let's change the scalability settings to low. Okay, and preferably you want to turn off the environment as well. So what I do is I usually group all my objects. So here everything is grouped under this folder so that it's easier for me to turn it off when I'm recording. Okay, that's important, and it's really easy to group things in, and most of you know it, but you simply just select a bunch of them, right click, and then move to, and then create a folder, and then just add it in there. That's what I did for the room. So now we can turn the room off because it's gonna eat less memory. And I can also turn off Kwamba because I'm not recording him. And we can turn off the flames, the bonfire, so all of that can go. So we just have her. That's really all we need to record for now. So if you have multiple characters, then you're going to be adding all of this. So for example, Kwamba and her, I will select Kwamba, and then I'll make sure I go to window over here, cinematics, bring up the tech record. No, sorry. No, yeah, bring up the tech recorder. Cinematics, tech recorder. Where's my tech recorder? Over here. Okay, and we want to add the character. So the way I've been doing it is when I'm adding Josie, I also add the actor, empty actor. So I just drag and drop them here. So it's now ready to record, and you can also give it the scene a name. It's going to put it in the tech recorder folder. So I'm just going to call it listening. Okay, and now I can go back over here, go to iClone, make sure we are on the same, so the first frame, and I always leave enough space before the action begins so that it gives me time to go to the Unreal Engine and start. So I'll go ahead and actually press record over here. Okay, and it's listening. Then I can rush and go to iClone and press play. So it's recording that animation, and once it gets to the end, I'm going to pay attention. When it's time, I can press stop. All right, and it's going to save the animation. So initially, it's going to look like it went away, but that's by design. And so we can just simply close this. And so this character right now, we can go to iClone and we can disconnect the Unreal Live link. Disconnect. We can even stop the animation now. Minimize that. So this is where the fun begins. Now I can go ahead, and this one I don't want to delete just yet because I may need to record some more animation. So what I do, I can simply turn on actor hidden in game. If you don't see that, just simply do rendering and it will show up. And I also do the same thing for Josie, actor hidden in game. Okay, and so now when I go to my content folder over here, go to cinematics, go to text, and it's going to put in the date, which is today, and listening. There it is. So if I double click on it and play back, there she is. And she's recorded properly. Now, there's something else, because I've already fixed it, but should yours not have, should you encounter a problem where the animation is messed up, you simply have to double click on this sub scene right here in the tech folder, go to animation, and then double click on this listening animation right here, sequence. And then under the default retargeting, make sure you select the same body type, which is female. For this character was female medium, with female medium, underweight. Female, medium, underweight. Female, it is female, medium, underweight body. Okay, you see there was a slight change over here. Make sure you save, close that, and then when you play back, it will fix the scrunching of the head into the shoulders of the character. So now we have our animation in here. We can go back and enable our environment. And now this project is actually ready for you to send to the Unreal Engine 5 so you can render there because the animation is saved. And you can even copy that folder. See this text folder? As long as this character and the whole layout is in another project, you can copy this animation and put it over there and it will show up. All right, so let's go to bring up our environment over here. What else did we turn off? The fire. Oh boy. Okay, so if we select a character and turn, so she's sitting in the same exact spots as we recorded her. That is really, really cool. And when we play back, let me make it small back, play back, you can see the animation. So whatever you do in iClone is going to show up here as recorded. So if I were to close iClone now and play, it shows you that even though the live link is not working, the animation is inside of the Unreal Engine. So that's cool. Now we can go back to cinematic. And then we can see our character all looking so cool. In those frames where she's not moving is where I left enough time for me to do other things. So if I add a camera in here, let's see, do I have any cameras that I could use? Let's see. Let's pick one of the cameras. Okay, it's Kwamba. Let's choose. You know what? I can even create a new one. But if we want, we can just change this character right here. So we can see her from a different direction. And then if we press play, we can see her right there. So cool. And we can also save this sequence and we'll give that little thumbnail. And we can stop this for a second. Let's add, so this is a Kwamba Kid cinematic. I'll go ahead and go to the world outliner. So that is number 5. Let's drag and drop this over here. Oh, sorry. Unlock that. Drag and drop it. And so at the beginning, like where the animation begins, like right here. Now we can put the end point. So the camera has to be there for you to do the end point. Now we can play the animation. Boom. If we don't do F11, you can see the beauty of the animation. So thank you so much, guys. We did it. That's the end of it. But thank you again for your feedback. Thank you for everybody that has supported me on this journey. What a day, you know, how awesome it is to be alive as a storyteller and as an indie filmmaker using the Unreal Engine to tell stories and using programs like iClone to be able to bring these animations to life and the Perception Neuron Suit. So I can't wait to see what you guys make. This is so cool. Dare to dream big, guys. I'm always gonna keep praying for you and everyone out there. Please stay safe and never ever give up on your dream. Thank you so much, guys. See you next time with another insight. Bye for now.